Revcast is an AI solution that helps revenue leaders create plans to continually measure those plans and to optimize them in real time. So we are really focused on bringing agility to the go to market organization.
I'm excited to see what that means, and you use that very special word of AI, so I'm excited to see
Mhm.
what that looks like. And how did the company get started? What was the story behind the founding?
So me and my two other co-founders worked together at one of our last companies, and we were all three of us involved in the go-to-market operation. And one of my co-founders was longtime RevOps leader. Me and my other co-founder were like really focused on go-to-market, led sales teams, post-sales teams, partner sales teams, like everything in the revenue org. And we just saw a massive pain point when it came to how do we actually plan for a year and plan for a year in a way that brings every stakeholder on board. Right. It's one thing to plan within your team, within your function, within your org. Great. How do I bring marketing on board? How do I bring finance on board? How do I bring my CEO on board in a way that's not in some Excel spreadsheet, frankly, because that's no way to collaborate. That's no way to align. That's a way to run numbers. It has its function, it has its use, but it's not a way to align. And we just felt this pain in a fast growing company. One of my co-founders was a co-founder of this other company, but we were on a ride from Series A to Series E, and so a lot of growth, a lot of planning, a lot of replanning, a lot of changing on the fly, and we just saw a big opportunity there.
Yes, it is, it's always, like, the fun time of year when it's like, "Let's plan for next year," and it's like, you're in offsites and you have scattered documents, and is everyone actually on the same plan and moving to the same direction is always challenging. How long has Revcast been around, and where are you at in terms of your own financing journey?
Yeah, I mean, we're pre-seed, so we've been around since 2023. Really started going to market midway through 2024, targeting sales leaders and really trying to help them with all of the, especially growth stage sales leaders, growth stage venture backed sales leaders, helping them better communicate outside of the revenue organization. So we're still early. Right? We're definitely still, in that mode of test, adjust, optimize what we're doing, but an exciting part of our company's history.
Yeah, how many people are you now?
Small, we're lean. So we run a lean team, 6 people. We like to be lean. Most of our team is on the product side. I'm a big believer product wins. That's where I come from. And we aggressively invest in that part of the business.
I'm excited to see the product itself. Do we wanna hop into the demo?
Sure. Let's do this. There's really three core things that we focus on at Revcast. And I mentioned it earlier. It's how do we create best practice plans, right? How do we understand where we're going in terms of where we want to bring the business? How do we then say, okay, that's great, but plans are plans. And the second that a year starts, right? 2 weeks into the year, a month into the year, the path to the target changes. So, how do we measure? How do we know early on where we're deviating from a plan? And when we're deviating from a plan, is it a risk? Is it an opportunity? How do I quantify that? What do I do? How do I think about this? And so for us, we're really focused on helping leaders understand one, the top line company targets. So, my CFO, my board CEO, they're handing me some top line bookings target, but how do I build that bottoms up plan to get to that target? And what are reasonable assumptions that we're making in the business, right? Like, what are reasonable assumptions that we're making around quota attainment? What are reasonable assumptions that we're making around attrition? And how do we think about hiring throughout the year? And we do this, like, as you can see here, when we're working with revenue leaders, we model that full go to market organization. So we model the quota carriers, we model like the pipeline generators, we model the channel sales that you might need in an organization. So we capture everything that's going on. And frankly, what our users love is that not only do we model this, but we give you real time feedback. So if I say, hey, Maybe I think there's going to be a little bit higher attrition than I planned for. I come in and I model for that. Like, what does that do to my top line? And we can see that instant feedback on how that changes top line results and expectations.